Hey everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. Welcome back to another short video on the market and everything related to crypto. Today we're going to be looking at our market cycles. We'll have a look at a few of the cryptocurrencies to see where they've been moving as far as the market cycles go. So we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Engine, Ethereum, Holo, Matic, and we'll also look at the SPY and the total cryptocurrency market. Then we're going to jump across and have a look at some interesting news regarding Polygon Matic and how a lot of accumulation is happening with that particular coin. All that right after this. Okay, so let's see where we are in relation to the market cycles. For those that have been following me and are probably sick and tired of me saying this, our market in the crypto space anyway, for the total market capitalization, follows pretty much a 31-day cycle. So at the moment, we're in around about day 20 for this current cycle. And we can see that well, I've always spoken about the fact that in the cycle, in the 30-day cycle, it's made up of 3 days worth 3 periods of 10 days each. And we really want to see the first third of that, if not the second third as well, being in a bullish phase for that, which is what we've seen. So this is very positive. To me, it shows a possible indication that the low or the downward movement or the bear market is close to being over. And if you compare the cycle of this current cycle to previous cycles, you can see in previous cycles we had a little rally up before it dropped dramatically, or the rally went sideways, so it went in the crab position and continued to move sideways for the 31 days. In fact, it's moved sideways pretty much the last 30-day cycle there, the 30-day cycle there, although it did drop right at the end of that cycle. It moved down for this 31-day cycle. The previous one, the 29-day cycle, is actually quite bullish. Not as bullish as, more bullish than what we're currently going through. But the fact that we've hit this period here on this resistance level at around about 712 trillion. We didn't quite hit that. We bounced at 870 billion, and we've been moving slightly sideways against that for the last couple of months before we're now starting to see a rally up. So it looks positive, but again, you've got to wait and see. Ideally, we want to see this high here of 1.136 trillion to be broken. That's quite a significant resistance line for the total market cap. And if we squeeze up our chart here, you can see why. Previously, most recently, it was a floor that the market bounced off of several times, 3 times in fact, before it fell through it. But then way back over here, back in January 2021, it was actually a ceiling that it couldn't break through. It hit the $1.136 trillion mark, bounced away from it, and around about a month and a half, 2 months later, came back with full force and broke through that. So its previous resistance is now became a floor for that, because it came back and tested it again way back in July 2021. Didn't break through the $1.136 trillion mark. It tested it again most recently, as I said earlier, 3 times before it broke through. So its support now has become a resistance level. So we really want to see the market rally above 1.13 trillion to show more strength than being bearish. So this could take a little time. Now, when markets typically finish their bearish cycles, they don't just turn around and go skyward straight away. There is a lull period that happens, and I've spoken about that in the past on this channel. That sometimes you'll get it going up and down, or it'll do what's known as channel trading. That means it might move between the $1.136 trillion mark and the $870 billion mark, and it could do that for several months while it finds stability, and before a lot of the accumulation happens before the next growth phase. Now, at the moment, there is a lot of buying going on in the crypto space. There is a lot of whales accumulating, not only just Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the 2 biggest coins on our market, but there's a lot of accumulation of the smaller cap coins as well as the altcoins as well. So coins like Engine Coin, Matic, Shiba Inu, T-Drop, Theta, all of those coins are being bought at the moment. The volumes on those are quite high. So it's interesting to see how that's going to adopt and move the market. Essentially what happens is the amount of coins on the exchanges get less and less because they end up in people's wallets. People then put those coins out of their hot wallets or out of the exchange wallets and into cold storage. And that makes the tokens more valuable because there are less on the exchanges for trading, which pushes the price up. Now, that sounds very simplistic. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially that's what will happen. So we're really waiting to see where things go at the moment. Now, you know, for the last probably 6 months, I've been saying to everybody on this channel, we've just got to wait to see where things are going. I wish I could give you better news or more clarity around that. But as I said, the truth is it can sometimes take a while for the market to find its stable place before it finds better stability in the market before moving on to its next growth phase. And that's pretty much what's happening at the moment. So if we have a look at some coins in particular, let's go to the Bitcoin chart now. We spoke about this several weeks ago, how we're bouncing beautifully on this orange resistance line here at $20,000. The market is now at 23,218 as of today. But again, we hit this resistance line. It's moved sideways, which is exactly what we expected it to do. And it's now starting to move. Now, even though it's moving sideways, probably one of the best features that you could look for is you want to make sure that your peaks are higher and your troughs are higher as well to indicate a market turnaround. So you can see here, each individual peak that's been made is higher than the previous one. That's very positive. And each of they call them troughs or the lows that have happened with the Bitcoin price over the last couple of months, each one is also higher than the previous. So it indicates that an uptrend is happening. Although it is slow and small at this particular point in time, that's how they all start. So slow and small before they get to the larger movements later on. So pretty good. Now, we also spoke about Ethereum about a fortnight ago, and I said how it's going to have a resistance level up around where it is at the moment, which is at $1,700. And the reason for that resistance is very similar to what we spoke about the total market cap, how you've got this resistance line here that was at one point in time a ceiling, and then it became a floor for the cryptocurrency. So Ethereum bounced along nicely. You can see how many times it's actually come down and traded off this figure here of 1,700 before finally, most recently, breaking through that. We're right at that point again now, but we're on the underside of that and we're just moving along nicely. It's broken above it and more importantly closed above it once, twice, three times. And most recently, it's just recently closed above that in the last day or so. So to me, that shows incredible strength. What we do want to see for Ethereum as well as for Bitcoin is we want to see this not only just traded above, but really broken well above it. And I would, personally for me, I'd love to see it trade well above this, come back down and test this resistance line before moving back up again. Now again, this could take several months before we see that unfold, but it's this is a patient game. You've got to wait sometimes as well. A couple of the other coins worth mentioning at the moment is Engine Coin. So if you're somebody who's into the Metaverse, this has shown, again, great stability over the last couple of weeks. You can see the highs or the peaks are getting higher and higher each cycle, and so are the lows. So the previous lows tend to be higher than the one before it, so that's pretty positive. Holochain as well has had a massive breakout of the last day or so. It is up from its recent low by 50%. So anyone who bought into Holochain recently has made 50% return on their money, which is really good. As I've mentioned on this channel a number of times, I'm not a trader. I'm more of a long-term investor, but I know there are a lot of traders on this channel who are looking at what coins I look at. And for those that have traded, a great return for 50%. If you put in, $1,000, you've just made yourself $500 over the last course of a week. If you're stuck in $10,000, you've just made yourself $5,000 over the last 7 days. So not a bad return at all if you're into trading. Polygon Matic has skyrocketed and done really, really well. Again, it's another coin that bounced all the way off its resistance level. So it was trading at around about 28 cents way back in March 2021, and that's when the coin first launched, or it's certainly what this chart shows anyway, and it moved along that channel for a little while before it rallied and took off. Then if you fast forward all the way over here to where we are now this year in June 2022, it hit that low again and has bounced straight off of that and gone upward strongly. So for people who are buying or holding Polygon Matic, congratulations. For those that have been trading it, you've had a really good run on Matic. So from its recent low to its current high, that's up 213%, which is absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. And if you happen to understand how to trade properly and look for the ebbs and flows of what happens in the market, whether you're swing trading or trading on Dow theory, or there's so many different options. You know, the first move up made 92% return. The second cycle of that went up another 128%. And then the third cycle, which is we're probably still in the middle of it. I won't say it's finished yet, but it's up around about 40%. So Matic has done tremendous things, and it just shows you how far they are advanced in the metaverse and everything else they're getting into. What else do we want to look at here? Let's have a look at S&P 500. Now, again, this is a crypto channel, but I do like to incorporate what's happening in the rest of the world as well, because it all ties in together. And you can see that the S&P 500 didn't quite hit 3,600, but it has actually moved up from that now. I don't do really any cycles on the S&P 500 or any other any other stock for that matter. But it's interesting to note that as this market moves, so does the crypto market space as well, usually in the same direction. And remember that for those who are thinking crypto is over and it's fallen too much, the S&P 500 has dropped from 4,800 points all the way down just to above 3,600 points as well. So it hasn't been a bear market that's just purely focused on the cryptocurrency market. We have been seeing a global bear market for the last couple of months, related to every single industry. So it's not specific to crypto. Now let's go and have a look at a couple of stories. The first one quite interesting. I nearly fell over when I read this. So this was posted to a Twitter account. And what this is, it's the Bitcoin blockchain itself. In particular though, this is block number 666,666. Now, the inventor of the Bitcoin has put messages in his blockchains before. Obviously, we don't know that there's a message there until the blockchain is constructed. But on blockchain 666,666 was another message that simply said, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Romans 12:21. So that's incredibly interesting. We'll have to see if there are any more. I'm sure there will be absolutely other messages in the blockchain, in the Bitcoin blockchain, as those blocks are created. It's got the world talking about what's going to happen next, and what, from a numerology point of view, will there be a message at 777,777 and onwards, and possibly a final message in the final block when that actually is created in several years down the track from now. Now, one news article I wanted to talk about today before we finish up is that mysterious whales are accumulating Polygon as $270 million worth of Ethereum-based exchange altcoin. The article goes on to say that several of Ethereum's biggest whales are loading their bags in a major way as the markets try to stabilize after a rocky week of trading. According to the transition aggregator WhaleStats, a number of cryptocurrency wallets with the root name of Blue Whale have been splurging hundreds of millions of dollars on discounted altcoins. Blue Whale 0117 spent $4.2 million to acquire 5.1, so let's say rounded up to 5.2 million tokens of the Layer 2 scaling solution Polygon Matic. Blue Whale 0116 has also been gorging on FTX token, FTT, the native asset of the FTX token cryptocurrency exchange. The whale initially paid a staggering $213 million for 7.1 million FTT tokens several days ago, and then on Tuesday went back for seconds and bought another $2.18 million worth of million tokens with a price tag of $58 million, which is absolutely staggering. Another crypto wallet with the mysterious Blue Whale prefix is an 82nd wealthiest bag named Blue Whale 0097, whose holdings are worth nearly 155 million at the time of writing. And then Blue Whale also took the shine to the FTX token yesterday, dropping 11.7 million to secure 420,995 FTT tokens. So there is a hell of a lot of buying going on at the moment in the crypto space, regardless if it's a layer 1 blockchain or layer 2 or layer 3. There is money pouring into this industry, and which is why I've said so many times on this channel, at the moment the market cap is at around about, what are we at exactly now? Just over $1 trillion, like literally just over $1 trillion, 1.077 trillion. And I totally believe that with the projects that are in this space at the moment and the developments that are happening, this really is such an undervalued space. I truly believe we should be at around about $10 trillion worth of value in the near future without even trying. But again, it's not financial advice, it's just my financial opinion. So that's it for this week. Have yourselves a good one. We will see you in a few days' time when we cover up some other news articles that happen throughout the week. Until then, take care of yourselves. If you can like and subscribe, it will really help this channel. Thanks so much.